よし。では今日から数日の間に大きく分けて3つの話をする。はじめに A01 部隊の任務について、次にベータと実戦の戦術について、最後に使用する機体に。
Okay.
今日はまず A01 部隊の主要任務について。
Yeah, I'm just gonna like breeze through these parts once I'm done reading them because this goes on for a while. Okay.
オルタネイティブ第4計画に関しては今さら説明の。
Huh? Alternative 4. Kevin just dropped that bomb like it was nothing. Isn't it the first time I'd be hearing about it as far as she knows?
光月副司令から直々に詳細を聞いているはずだが。
Oh, right. Yes, she did. Gotcha. So Yuko Sensei's already told the captain some things about me then.
ではその前提で話を進める。
But I don't know how much the captain knows about it, so it's gonna be pretty tough to figure out how much I can divulge.
知っての通り、我が部隊は通常任務のために編成オルタネイティブ第4計画を完遂させるため、それに特化した作戦のみを。
I see. So we don't have any involvement with the normal run-of-the-mill missions. We just focus solely on Alternative 4.
よって我々は国連軍が表立って関与できない作戦であっても。
Oh, so that's why they suffered casualties when the beta surfaced in Niigata. I do remember Yuko Sensei saying that the UN forces couldn't go on the offensive without a formal request from the Japanese government.
最近の出撃は先月の新潟だ。その任務内容は。
Wait, you captured live beta? Is that in our job description too? Bruh, you're part of a special task group. That means fucking everything's in your job description. They tell you to catch some live beta, you catch some live beta. They tell you to go clean a toilet, you go clean a toilet, man. That's what it means to be a special task group. You take on whatever special task the fucking commander gives you. Simple as that, unfortunately.
そうだ。戦うために派遣されることもあれば、そういった計画推進のための裏方的な。
I see. Definitely makes sense though. With the project's completion as their highest priority, I'd imagine they're more concerned about productive missions than destructive ones.
ただし、裏方的な任務といえども、サンプル回収任務で2人が死に、1人が病。
Right.
また、それとは別に、第4系副司令と貴様が開発した XM3 プロトタイプの実。
Huh?
我々に課せられる任務は、このよ。
Wait, so it wasn't just our squad testing out the proof of concept OS?
だがそれらは、オルタネイティブ第4計画完遂のため。
Captain, when exactly did you start testing the XM3?
今月の頭からだ。
That early? That's practically the same time as us.
余談だが、例のクーデター騒ぎで1名の戦死者にとる。1週間前のベータ奇襲の際に。これに関しては、貴様。
No, really, it's fine. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. There's no way Yuko Sensei would rely solely on us cadets for such an important project. Maybe A01 did all the real development. She only gave us the XM3 to make sure we wouldn't die during the coup d'etat. Given her track record, I definitely wouldn't put it past her, you know. Not Mrs. 500 steps ahead of you. No. She wouldn't. Don't put anything past her. Actually, Captain, if you don't mind me asking, what was your mission during the coup d'etat?
当初は帝都臨海部にある離れ城の警護だ。
Right. Makes sense for a unit of commissioned soldiers to be guarding a fortress on the front lines. And yet, I really don't see how putting Unit A01 on a mission like that would directly benefit Alternative 4 at all. Not that we cadets had any business being deployed either. I do remember Sensei saying that the coup might be a good opportunity for us. But why?
貴様の部隊が後部員殿下を保護した後は、帝都からの敵増援を。
Why do I feel like that wasn't just a coincidence? That basically means that no matter which fortress the Shogun fled to, A01 would either be escorting her to Yokohama base or close enough to dash in and fight off her pursuers. Seems too perfect. Even Chief Yodai seemed pretty impressed with her at the time. Why is it that Yuko Sensei's plans always seem to go off without a hitch? Because I'm telling you, 784 steps ahead of you, always. This woman is never behind you and just so far ahead of you, you'll never be able to understand until it's too late. Like, listen, you're talking about the plan she made back in, like, what, part 30 something? This is what, part 60 something, maybe even part 70 something? See how far behind you are, dude? You're just now realizing that the fucking plan she made like 30 episodes ago, yo, we're all fucking planned out ahead. You're just now realizing that. Just imagine how much more she's got planned out ahead. Bruh, don't ever question the intellect of that woman. It's fucking crazy. Scares me, honestly. Obviously, she must have known a lot about what was going on behind the scenes. There's no way she could have accurately predicted the Shogun's every move like that. That's what you think. That's what you think. We're dealing with Mrs. 816 steps ahead of you here, alright? I mean, didn't she say she had no way of falsifying my records within the Shogunate's database? I assume that means she's got no pawns on the inside there. So she couldn't have known that Her Highness's main goal was to draw the fighting as far from the capital as possible. Maybe she just put A01 closer to the action because she figured we'd be safer in Hakone? But that still begs the question, how could any of that have benefited Alternative 4? What was she trying to achieve? Well, regardless, it's thanks to these guys' backup that we were able to make it past the Hiyakawa toll booth. It really makes you realize just how narrow the perspective of any one soldier in the field really is. Gotta step up my game. I'll never be able to face Yuko-sensei on equal ground if I'm content to stay in my clueless little bubble. I didn't know. So your unit was the one backing us up during all that, huh?
そうだ。
Then I guess it's thanks to you guys that we managed to get the job done, huh?
だが、結果的に我々の阻止任務は
In what way? I mean, they kept bringing in more reinforcements, so...
あの時、敵に空挺作戦を決断。
Huh? Why'd you say that?
XM3 を搭載した我々の足止めが、
What?
それが敵を焦らせ、あの奇策を呼んでしまったと考える。
I see.
それが結果的に、殿下や貴様たちをよりこれでは任務成功とは言えない。
I still don't consider it a failure, personally.
その理由は
You managed to prevent the reinforcements from pursuing us, so I'd say you accomplished your mission.
なるほど。確かにその通りだが、それが正しいとされるのは、人間
Well,
相手の
yes,
戦
but
争での話。
that was who we were at war with during that one mission, alright? So I'd say that reasoning works well for this, situation. I know you're gonna flip it and be like, but when you're on the field with the beta, alright? It's a whole different ballgame. It's like, well, you know what? In that situation, we weren't on the field with the beta, were we? So you know what? My reasoning applies. Fuck you. Stop trying to downplay my compliments. Anyway.
人間同士で戦っていた時代のボトムアップとここが訓練学校だったら今の回答で良しとされたはずだ。
That's right. I studied this when I was commissioned in the last loop.
訓練部隊での教育は素人を短期だからこそあえて古い概念を実践し貴様たち207小隊には
Yes?
だが本来訓練兵は男も女も区別なく欧米
Huh?
それどころか私が訓練兵だった頃は
Huh?
もちろんそれは仲間意識の醸成やだが本当の目的はそうすることでプライバシーや羞恥心を奪うためなんだ。
That's news to me. I knew it was like that on the front lines, but wow.
ただ207小隊は特に B 分隊には特殊な A 分隊の連中鈴宮や柏木はもっとも207小隊に男の
I see. Guess you could say we kinda owe our privacy to Maya then. When you consider that Japan's the host country for Alternative 4, it's easy to see why they try to stay on the Shogunate's good side. It's the same reason they're letting Tsukiyomi-san's unit be stationed here. Though that doesn't explain the individual rooms, they were all girls anyway. Maybe they just wanted to keep everyone from being too close to Maya? Interesting. So Captain Ismi knows about everyone's backgrounds then. Guess that's to be expected though, since she's the one who's gotta look out for them.
ただし個室や便所が優遇されたとしても羞恥心そうしておかなければ素性がどうであれ前線において訓練兵の強化装備を思い出してみろ前面がほぼ透明なのは無着色皮膜の方がはるかに安価という理由だけではない。
This is how they explain why the titty suits were titty suits, alright? And it's to eliminate the sense of shame within the soldiers and whatnot. And what I didn't realize until this moment here is that those suits aren't flesh colored. That's the actual flesh showing through. They're semi-transparent. Meaning, oh no, it's not flesh colored, that's their actual flesh being shown off. With all the other suits, that material is dyed different colors. Like what isn't Tsukiyomi's like black, like the armor pieces are red and hers is like black. Then like the standard outfit, it's purple. and then like with the Americans it was green. Like it gets dyed, alright? But for cadets, it's not just flesh colored, it's not colored at all. That's straight up their biddies showing through. I didn't even realize that. Like I thought it was just like, oh, it's flesh colored, that's weird. Nah, that's just straight up, you're seeing some biddies hanging out. That's... Ah.
正規軍では男も女もないからな。あれにならされてしまえば大概のことはもう。
最前線の基地じゃ寝る場所ど。
So that's why they made us wear those. That makes sense now. Don't say us. You didn't wear one. Also, what's the cadet suit look like for a guy? Because, you know, most guys aren't going to be too, like, real self-conscious of their chest being shown. Is it, like, complete armor, but then, like, the fucking crotch is semi-transparent, you know? There's, like, our ass and our crotch. You get, like, little thin pieces of armor, like, going down, like, along your ribs and along your hips and whatnot. But then, like, the whole front part is transparent, and then, like, the whole back part is transparent. So it's just your ass and your bulge just on full display. Well, it certainly worked for me. After a while, I didn't even think twice about it. Seems like the others didn't either.
分かったか？訓練部隊では過酷な環境に
Yes.
ピラミッド型の組織やトップダウン型のだが正規軍の命令系統や組織作戦に関わる全員が同じレベルの戦域情報繰り返しになるが人間の思考が通用しない米だからこそ前線の部隊指揮官に多くの情報それはたとえ歩兵部隊の
Right.
あの時私は空挺の
Yeah. Major Walken and First Lieutenant Tsukiyomi said the same thing. In this world, the beta control the skies, so aerial attacks are pretty much unthinkable.
人間に意表をつかれるようではベータと戦って勝利することなど
Right. We're on the same page about what it takes to fight the beta. I still think your operation was a success.
ほうそれで
The enemy's aerial assault may have been successful, but we were still able to rescue Her Highness. See, I think it really depends on what your criteria are for calling something a success or failure. And for me, it's always the outcome that's most important. Whether you're fighting humans or beta, it's extremely rare for everything to go according to plan. That's why the elements of timing and luck also play a huge role. If you can take advantage of the unpredictables and still manage to produce the desired results, then I'd call that a success.
ほう貴様
Not
な
at
か
all.
なか見どころがあるな
Actually, no. That's just something Sergeant Jinguchi taught me. Sorry. So she told us when we passed the CCSE. I'm just paraphrasing her.
そんなことは
Yeah,
分か
bitch,
ってい
we
る
all know. Huh?
私も総選演習に合格した時
Yeah, I'm sure she said it to
それ
everyone.
と同じような言葉を軍曹にいただいたんだ
Huh, interesting. Guess the sergeant gave all her cadets the same spiel.
受け売りであろうが何であろうが軍曹の教えが貴様に息づいているということに変わりはない何を謝る必要があるというんだ
You're right, Captain. That wasn't necessary at all.
そうだそれは貴様も軍曹に
Hell
育てられた子供だという証 A01 の一員である証なんだ誇りに思え
I do. Consider it an honor to have had her as my mentor.
それでいい
As you should. Damn right. That's right. Sergeant Jinguchi believed it was her duty to pass those lessons down to us. And Unit A01 is composed entirely of young soldiers she took under her wing.
白金一つ教えておく
Listening? Yes?
使命に準じた者たちの生き様やその教えを生き残った者が誇らしくそれが我々英士にとって
Honor their memory, huh? I see. I guess the captain thinks I'm still having trouble coping with what happened to Sergeant Jinguchi. I mean, a little bit. A little bit. I mean, I've accepted that it happened, but you know, when you when those fucking images get flashed at me, it definitely tips me the wrong way.
戦場で儚く散っていく命が人々の記憶から消え去る
Yeah, that's something I know all too well, trust me. After all I've been through, I can finally appreciate what a blessing it is to have people to remember you.
ベータを殲滅し真の平和を取り戻すまで
You mean as long as there's someone to keep their memory alive, humanity will live on and one day be victorious?
その通りだから貴様も
Yes, ma'am. Captain, thank you so much. You can probably tell, I haven't really been able to find closure yet, huh? But I think I'm gonna be okay now. Sure, I haven't completely recovered, but at least I know what I have to do. I'm gonna make it up to Sergeant Jinguji. No, Marumo-chan. By seeing this through to the end. But on top of that, I'll continue to pass on the lessons she taught me, in both worlds,
さて話を元に戻
if
そ
you
う。
insist. Okay,
今までの話からも我が部隊が関わる作戦やに
right?
だがこれまで説明した例は計画の黎明期から中期までに発生する第4計画が最終段階に到達した際に課せられるものこそ
Our true mission? Oh, just you wait, buddy.
我々の市場任務それはある
A certain something?
そうだ A01 部隊はそのあるものを守るために
Is she talking about the 00 unit? I mean, that's easily the most important thing related to Alternative 4. Though if the captain's not going to mention it by name, I'd better keep my mouth shut. Maybe I should probe a bit to see how much she knows. And what exactly is this certain something?
残念だが今それをこ
Well, duh. Even if she does know, only Yuko-sensei is authorized to divulge that information.
need to know
Needed to know. Yes, it's when you only have the right to be briefed on information that's absolutely essential for your mission.
そうだ特殊任務部隊に所属しているとはいえいかに最前線で戦域情報が共有されようが
Right.
この場合我々が知るべき情報はあるもの
Got it.
例えばこの時間もそうだ
Huh?
表向きは貴様の遅れを取り戻すための座学ということになっているが
Huh?
理由は簡単だ今まで私が話した内容の端々に光月副司令から貴様の任務遂行上ほとんどの
A new mission. Does she mean the tuning job for the 00 unit?
早瀬や宗像であっても知ることが許されない情報をそれは貴様がその情報を知ることが必要とされているからだ
Right.
必要になれば必ず知らされる
Yeah, makes sense.
よし
So even though this is Yuko-sensei's personal unit, that doesn't mean everyone gets to know all the details. Hell, wouldn't be surprised if I knew things even the captain doesn't. I'll have to check with Yuko-sensei to find out how much I'm allowed to say. That was the first lecture I've attended in a while, let alone paid such close attention to, not because I missed them or anything, but just because it actually related to my primary objective. Meanwhile, back in the other world, I actually did feel kind of emotional to be back in class after so long, but I couldn't focus because I don't remember any of that material anymore. Huh. Man, there's something really curious about Captain Ismi. She may have all the traits demanded of soldiers in this world, but she still seems like a good person overall. It kind of feels like Sergeant Jinguji might have been the same way when she was around the same age. Thinking back on the story the captain told me from when she was a cadet and when Sergeant Jinguji told me of her first battle, I could definitely see it. It really makes me realize just how much easier she was on us. She was so kind to all of us.
おーい白金
Eh. Oh, Lieutenant Hayase.
いいのよいちいちそんなことしなくてもさっき大尉も言ってたでしょ
Sorry. Force of habit, I guess. Whenever I see a superior, I just salute on instinct at this point.
バルキリーズの隊員相手には号令がかかった時だけやってればいいのよ
Or when there might be prying eyes watching, right?
そういうことさすが天才衛士飲み込みが早いわね
Not to be rude, Lieutenant, but would you mind not calling me that? If you're being sarcastic, it wouldn't even bug me, actually. But while I may have gotten my act together now, it really doesn't feel right to be praised like that by another one of Sergeant Jinguji's pupils.
何よあんなすごい OS 作ったくせに意外とけん
No, really, I'm not just being modest.
まあ増長するよりはいいけど私たち衛士にとって
Thanks. I'm really glad to hear that.
だからその開発に携わったあんたを
Well, if you say so.
最初はシビアな挙動に戸惑ったけどさそれに慣れたらもう別世界クーデターの時敵の94式があまりにどんくさくてとても同じ機体とは思えないほどだったわ
Well, I'm glad you found it useful, but I really don't think I'm a genius or anything.
あんたね
Sorry.
そういえば あんたが特殊任務に行ってる間に大尉や新入りから聞いたんだけど、
Yeah, what's that? What'd you hear? Like what?
神宮寺軍曹の一件かなり気にしてるんだってね。
I mean, I'm definitely not okay with it, but you know, in a sense, I'm kind of over it. In a way, maybe? I don't know. No, they're right about that. But I've decided that I'm not going to let it hold me back anymore. That being said, though, I'm still not in the frame of mind to be graciously accepting compliments on my OS. So, listen, Lieutenant.
何よ。
If I'm ever going to come to terms with what happened and start to move on, there's something I need to say once and for all. It's not just a matter of carrying on her legacy. There's something else I have to do. Something I owe to every pilot she took under her wing.
だから何？
I just wanted to apologize for failing to protect Sergeant Jinguji. I know she meant a lot to you and to everyone else in this unit, and it's my fault that she's gone. I'm so sorry.
やめなさいよ、そういうの。
Huh?
あんたが生きてたんだから、それでいいじゃない。
What? Is it really that simple for her? No. Even though I just sat there and watched Sergeant Jinguji die? Sure, it may be irrational to hold it against me, but isn't that the natural response? Shouldn't she want to punch me or something to take out her frustration? You mean, it doesn't bother you at all that I was directly involved in your old mentor's death? It's almost like she doesn't want to talk about it and would really appreciate you getting off the topic?
あんたね、悲しいとか悲しくないって話なら、そりゃ私だって悲しいわよ。
Then, how can you be so upbeat all the time? You act almost like it didn't even happen.
まったく、珍しく男が入ってきたと思うわ、こんな。一つ聞くけど、あんたさ、そうやってタイの全員に謝って回るつもりじゃないでしょうね。
I was planning to. Thought it might help bring some closure to.
絶対やめてよ。そんなことしないで。
But I feel like I have to try, or.
じゃああんた、それでみんなが許さないって言ったらどうするの？
I'm not asking for forgiveness, it's just the principle of the thing.
ごめん。全言撤回するわ。
Stupid, huh? Well, better than being drowned in praise I don't deserve. I really don't want to pick a fight with one of my teammates, but the thing is, my objectives changed. Defeating the beta isn't the end goal anymore. It's just step one. And while I'd hate for it to come to that, it's really not imperative for me to get along with these guys. In fact, considering what we're up against, it might actually be smarter not to get too attached to one another. That being said, though, I want to at least do the right thing and apologize when it's due. Whether they forgive me or not, I'm not going to run away from my problems anymore.
いい？あんたのやろうとしていることでけじめなんかつかないわよ。
I'm not so sure about that. I think we just have different opinions on the matter.
考え方の違い？
You might not think it'll help, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't force your views on me. It's something I have to do for myself. However, I also wouldn't want to be insubordinate, so if you really don't want me to apologize, you can always order me not to. Just say the word, and I'll lay off. Yep.
それじゃあ、私の考えとして聞きなさい。
Your point being? What the hell, dude? Just gonna silence me by force? Is that it? Yeah, she really is a military girl at heart, despite her laid-back persona.
あんたは自己満足のために謝って、けじめつけたって免罪符を得るから気持ちさっぱりでしょうけどね。
The hell did you say?
そんなの押し付けられるこっちはいい迷惑なのよ。軍曹は部隊の全員にとって母親のような存在だったんだ。悲しくないわけないでしょ。お前だけじゃない。全員自分がもっとやれていれば、大尉だってもっと警戒を促していれば。
She even mentioned that back when we were being interrogated.
いいか。それでもみんななんとか心に整理をつけて札なぜかわかるか。
Because it's our duty as survivors to use what we've learned here to save as many lives as possible. It's the only way we can ever make it up to those who died so we could live.
一人でも多くの兵士を1秒でも長生きさせるために、だから今は207小隊のみんなが、私の教え子たちが。
分かってるんだったら、お前の考えを皆に押し付けるな。
Right. Sorry about that. Damn it. I almost made the same mistake all over again. I wasn't thinking about anyone but myself. Thank you, Lieutenant. I guess I just didn't realize what I was doing.
お前には同情する部分もある。目の前であんなことになった直後。
No, all I did was run away, make things even worse.
お前の同期の連中は特にそこを心配している。
Right.
それが英氏の流儀だ。腕だけじゃなく、そしてそれがお前が取るべきけじめなんだ。
Roger that.
どうしても神宮寺軍曹のことを言いたくなったら、その時は
I won't talk about how she died. I'll talk about how she lived, and how proud I am to have been her student.
そうだ。笑って話すんだ。
Hell yeah.
いいな。
Okay. Wow, so this is what a real surface pilot looks like, huh? In the previous loop, I only ever got assigned to rear guard missions. I was never the real deal. But this is what it takes to survive in a real combat unit, where death is always on your doorstep.
覚悟しろよ、白金。
And why is that?
この一件でお前は私に目をつけられたんだ。
Hell yeah. I mean, what?
今後ちょっ
Roger that. If I do, then by all means, pummel away.
口の減らないやつめ。
Man, that's the second time I've been hit by a girl recently. It's like, whenever I think I'm doing the right thing, it always turns out to be a product of my own selfishness in a way that I hadn't even considered. Yeah, no, that checks out. It's kind of been the way you've been doing things for a while now, my guy. God, I'm still so naive. I've really got to learn to start looking at the bigger picture. I guess in that sense, I'm lucky to have someone who will be this blunt with me.
美月。
Mitsuki.
ああ、はるか。模擬戦のデータ処理終わったの？
Alright, that's Lieutenant Hayase's first name.
さっきね、茜が美月を誘って PX 行こうってき。
I almost just saluted again. Feels so weird not to.
模擬戦の連携で確認したいことがあるんです。白金少尉、お疲れ様。ずっと
Nah, it wasn't too bad.
単独任務明けにいきなりタイとマンツーマンなんて。
あのね、あんたじゃないんだから。
注意、ひどいですよ。
I remember the guys in the mock enemy units back during the trial acting like this too. Guess it's pretty natural for commissioned soldiers to be casual with one another. Man, we're never gonna see those guys again, are we? Were they confirmed dead? I feel like they were. Man, if they weren't, I hope we actually get to see them again, because they were dope. Especially fucking... yeah. This guy. Yeah, you know, fucking this guy. If there's anyone who made it out, I want it to be this guy. I always thought respect for seniority was a much bigger deal, but maybe the pros just know exactly when to turn it on and off. I guess I can understand wanting to keep the atmosphere light when you're in a combat unit, and might be sent out to your death at any moment. And like Lieutenant Hayase said, it's probably just a part of the surface pilot code. This is how they managed to cope. But I feel like it goes deeper than that with these three. They seem genuinely close on a personal level, almost like they were all involved in a separate story in a different universe. Crazy. Anyway. The two first lieutenants graduated at the same time, and obviously the sisters would be intimate, but I don't get why Lieutenant Hayase would be so close with Lieutenant Suzumiya's little sister. Sure, her squad passed the CCSE faster than ours did. We did pretty fantastic on all our pilot training after that. In fact, we blew right past a lot of the later curriculum, so it's not like Suzumiya's been with these guys that much longer than us. No, just surprised at how, intimate you are with your older sister's buddies.
ちょっと白金、それどういうこと？
そうそう、この子慣れ慣れしいから。
注意まで。私と美月が訓練校にいた頃から、茜は美月に憧れているのよ。
Oh, really?
入隊して初めての休暇の時、美月を私の家にその話はもういいから。やめてよ、お姉ちゃん。
あ、そうだった。あの頃の茜はまだ陸。
勘弁してくださいよ、もう。手紙でしか知らない。写真でしか見たことのない。もうやめてって言ってるのに。
Dang, Suzumiya's older sister might be more brutal than I thought. She just ignored her sister's pleas with a big old grin on her face.
その後もさ、はるかの向こうに隠れちゃって。
だって
仕方ないじゃないですか。
Wow, Suzumiya embarrassed? I really have a hard time picturing that.
だから茜は美月のポジションストームヴァンガード1を目指しているのよ。
I see. That explains why she wanted to talk about their mock battle formations. But damn, Storm Vanguard? That's the most prestigious flight in any TSF unit, not to mention the one with the lowest survival rate. That's why only the cream of the crop get assigned to it. So if Lieutenant Hayase is Storm Vanguard 1, that makes her this unit's second in command.
違うよはるか、それだけじゃない。
分かってるよ美月。茜は
それもあると思うけど、それだけじゃないよはるか。茜はね、はるかの分も頑張ろうとしてるんだよ。
注意、それは。
もうそういうのやめなさいよ。
Ooh boy, this is getting a little awkward. Hey, should I go?
いいのよ少尉。今日から同じ隊の仲間になるんだし。
Okay. Man, this is the exact opposite of Squad 207's non-intervention policy, though it made sense then given everyone's personal baggage. Just one more thing that goes to show the difference between a training squad and a combat unit, I guess, and a difference in our commanding officer's policies. Captain Ismi wants us to carry on each other's legacies, and I guess we can't do that if we don't know the first thing about each other. Fair enough.
私も衛士を目指して訓練学校に入隊したんだけど。
Huh? You cleared the CCSE, but couldn't pass the aptitude test?
前期の総選技演習の時に事故に遭って。
So that's why they graduated half a term late. But why would an accident during the CCSE cause you to fail the aptitude test?
私たちの時はね、訓練分隊ごとに複数の破壊目標をクリアし。
Sounds pretty much the same as ours, except they split into 2 teams instead of 3. Oh god. Please tell me she didn't get shot at by the gun battery.
私とはるかは同じ分隊だったんだけど、別動隊の連中が。
A Humvee? Alright, we found one too, though the engine had been stripped out. It was back in that cave, and we were trying to figure out how it got there since all the roads had been completely overgrown.
スケジュールが遅れていたその隊は時間短。
Huh? But the road was gone. Wait, don't tell me they drove through the jungle. That's impossible.
ろくに整備もできない状態で悪路を走り続けてきた。合流地点に着いた時にはブレーキフルードはすっかり抜け。
Huh?
はるかを含め仮眠を取っていた何人かを引いて、最後に高機動車は横転してやっと止まったわ。
What happened to them?
頭を引かれたやつと横転した時に車外に放り出されて車体に押しつぶされて。
Don't talk about head crush. That's not something I want to hear. But also, I think from what I remember of the story that these 3 come from originally, I think that Akane's older sister here, Haruka, I think that's part of the story as well, is that she gets into some kind of accident, and that is like a key event in that story. Once again, this is just from what I remember of the synopsis that I read several months ago, but anyway. So it wasn't just a myth. People really have died during the evaluation. Maybe that accident is why they stripped out the engine and let the path get overgrown.
私はその時両足を引かれたの。
Yeah, no kidding. They were off-roading through the jungle, so those tires must have been caked with mud and dirt. She's lucky she got off with just an infection, didn't have to get them amputated.
だから今の私の両足に。
Huh? Wait, her legs are prosthetic? Both of them? Wow, I had no idea. Damn, maybe I need to get my eyes checked. I couldn't tell the 00 unit wasn't human either.
おかげで3週間ぐらいで訓練には復帰できて、後期の総選挙演習にも合格したんだけど。
Still, it's impressive that she managed to retake and pass the CCSE after an accident like that. She's really a lot stronger than she looks.
神経結合が完全というわけにはいかなかったみたいで、日常生活には何の支障もないんだけど。
はるかは指揮官適性が高かったから訓練部隊では分隊長だったのよ。
Wow, so if it hadn't been for that accident, she'd probably be A01's second in command right now, huh?
無理無理。戦術機の操縦は多分下手だったと。
茜は指揮官適性もまあまあだけど戦術機適性も半端じゃないからね。
茜、ありがとう。でも
別に無理なんかしてないよ。早瀬注意に憧れているのも本当だし。
Seems like Suzumiya cares an awful lot about her older sister. She was always one of the popular kids back in my world, but she never seemed shallow or stuck up, really. Had a bit of a loner vibe maybe, but seemed to really value her friends. True. So I'm guessing she probably cared just as much about her sister there as she does here.
でも注意、なんで分かっちゃったんですか？
任務でのあんたを見ていると危なっかしくてね。大尉も心配してたわよ。
え、大尉が？
茜は黙って根詰めるタイプだから、結果が出ないと余計焦るでしょ。だからはるかにバラしておけばいい。
なんかまるで私が天の塾みたいじゃないですか。
え、茜知らなかったの？
何が？
おめでたいわね。あんただけよ。そうじゃないって思ってるの。
もう二人してバカにして。
素直じゃなくて意地っ張り。
You know, for something so painfully obvious, it's easy to forget that everyone here has their own set of problems they're dealing with. You can't assume you've got it better or worse than anybody else till you've lived a day in their shoes. So, of course, I can't claim that what First Lieutenant Suzumiya went through, for example, wasn't as bad as what happened to me. In the same vein, there's no telling which of us is taking Sergeant Jinguji's death the hardest. The only thing I do know for sure is that every one of these guys is hurting. And yet, they're still laughing alongside their friends, trying their best not to let it show. No one's trying to dump their problems on anyone else. They're all doing their best to stay positive.
白金少尉はどうするの？
What about me? Huh? Oh, sorry. Can you repeat the question? I wasn't paying attention.
食事まだでしょ？私
Oh, I appreciate the offer, but
何遠慮してるのよ。もう同じ部隊の仲間なんだからいいじゃない。
Suzumiya. Yeah, I guess we are, huh?
それに今度は君の恥ずかしい話を
But
聞
I
か
don't
せてもら
have
わない
any,
と
you
不
know?
公平でしょ。
Huh? Wait, seriously?
嘘嘘。本当はさ、OS の特性とかいろいろ聞かせてほしいな。
Goddamn right I do. I mean, on what?
千鶴からすごいって聞いてるから。
茜、それは明日にしなさい。白金はまだ坂。
そうだったんだ。ごめんね。
Nah, it's fine. Sorry to have to turn down the invitation.
いいのよ。また次の機会にね。
ほらほら、早く行った方がいいよ。この1週間みんなすごく心配してたんだから。
Okay then, if you'll excuse me.
敬礼はいらないわよ。
Right.
君を呼んで君へかけて君